in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm already on my mark. Now I'm really on my mark. What's up, everybody? Is this thing on? It is. I am SM SithLord. This is the weekly build stream right here on the Somnium channels. Thanks for joining. Every week I build something new or sometimes something old that I remix. Today I'm going to be doing something brand new, and this will be clicking on all my different screens here, getting all set up. This will be a type of technically it's going to be a baked structure. Everything's going to be baked into one texture. I'm going to bake the lighting in 3ds Max. So to fit those technical requirements, I have to look for something that's a hyper modern art style. I'm talking with my hands, but my bare VTuber here isn't picking it up, so I'll just talk with my head. It's got to fit the technical requirements, so a very modern house that has like just white walls everywhere and has this kind of nice lighting that travels from between the walls. So I'm using AI here to generate some concept art. I'm probably going to have to go to Google search too, because AI, it generates like things that aren't the most realistic kind of layouts, but it does get you a good sense of some walls and individual pieces that you can pull out and implement. Like the windows here. I like those windows, the dark window frames, but let's try fixing this up some. Instead of a photograph, we'll have a photograph. Well, let's try that again. That's pretty good, actually. So we're looking for something with simplistic architecture. This looks good. That I can quickly 3D model and drop a skybox in and just have it looking awesome. I kind of like this too. Although that kitchen is so not realistic. Let's try one more roll here. I'm not using stable diffusion, which would probably give me much better results. I'm just using runway here. Lots of curves to start refining my generating terms a bit. Okay, so I think these are the ones that I'm going for. In particular, this one. All the couches and stuff, maybe I'll jump onto Sketchfab and find some furniture real quick. Let's see if I can do that. We'll go on the Fab here. Is that what it's called? Furniture. Downloadable. What do we got? Hopefully a free set. That would be nice. Do we have a free set of furniture here that... Well, hey! Look at this here. 16K triangles. That's not bad. Now, are they all UV mapped to the same texture sheet? That would be nice. It looks like they are, because I'm seeing an artifact right here. Oh no, I'm not seeing an artifact. That's just two surfaces. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. But this is some really good furniture, and it's free, so why not download it and see what it looks like? I can get the 89 megabyte blender, or I can get the auto down converted GLB. I'm going to grab the GLB right now, although it might not be the best option if it jumbles it around on me. This looks really, really good. I need to see what the hierarchy looks like. I also want to take a look at it at gltf.report. So I'm making something that I'm going to try to hyper optimize so it runs well on mobile devices. So I'm trying to find models that don't have a lot of textures. Excuse me. This one has a lot of textures. It's using a 1024 by 1024 texture on each object, separate object. So each object's going to be one draw call, minimum. If it's behind glass, probably more. I'm not seeing anything like normal maps, so that's pretty cool. Everything's just the diffuse. I wish they were all baked into one UV sheet. I wish I knew an app that had that power. I think GLTF Transform can do it. I don't know how to use GL Transform to do that kind of stuff. Maybe GLTF Transform can't, but what I wish is if I could make a 2K or like 2 or 3 2K sheets and merge a bunch of these onto the same sheet, or just like one 2K sheet. Yeah, just one 2K sheet and shrink all these down and get them all on there, because then these could be one draw call for an entirely furnished house. They can't be this way. However, that's okay. Let's see what else I could do over here. I could resample the animation, I could dedupe, I could prune nodes, and I could resize everything. Yeah, let's resize everything to 512 by 512. Yeah, okay, and let's run that. What's that gonna do for us? This website is gltf.report that I'm using. It's resizing all my textures. I think we're good to go. I just feel like I could get away with 256 by 256 on this level of detail, but I'm not. I'm going to go with 512. That's fine. That's actually really low because these are texture sheets, not just tileable textures. Okay, what did this do for us? Let's check the log. It removed 3 duplicate materials, and that's it, and resized everything. Okay, that's good. Let's download this. We don't need to compress it. Do we? Low poly furniture, GLB. Did we want to compress it? Maybe. Let's try Draco compression. How big is it now? It's 6 megabytes. That's good. How does it look? I can't view it in here. Is it going to work in Play Canvas? Let's find out. Okay, so I'm making a brand new web world here, web world project. I have 0.2 gigabytes free on my account here. You ought to have a Play Canvas account, log into your panel in your projects tab, and then click upload project. When you click upload project, then you go to your downloads, or the folder that you downloaded the web world's SDK to, and you find it in here somewhere, and you're going to upload the zip. So, I believe I'm looking for v11. Here we go. Yep. No, we're on v12. I have to download the Web World SDK. One more time. Let's do it. So I'm trying to get to the Somnium GitLab. I'll go through the Medium article here about Web Worlds. There it is, GitLab. Here's the file that we want, Web World template 012, whatever the current version is, the only version on there. And I'll click download. So I'm downloading the zip. I'm not downloading the whole thing with the README, and also I'm just downloading the zip. And now that I got the zip, I can upload it here, import project, and it will be right here for me. Hey, all right. And now I could start testing stuff out in it. Oh, that's nice. Okay. So if I just click launch in the base web world template there, I spawn in as this little default demo guy. And I could test a bunch of stuff out. If I put URLs in there, I'd be able to load them up on the walls. Okay, now I want to drop in my newest version of the GLB. Let's call it optimized. Okay, sure. The Play Canvas editor here supports GLB or FBX. I'm going to compress all of these. See, I got a whole lot of textures here. 30 textures. I wish they were one texture, and they could be. And there's a simple automated way to do it. I need to ask ChatGPT what the best method for me is. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna basis compress these right now. And by the way, yeah, it looks like it worked. Let me spawn my template just to be sure. It looks like it was Play Canvas here was able to load my Draco compressed GLB. Awesome. So let's select every single texture in it, and we are going to compress these. Oh no, I just broke my webcam, didn't I? I didn't. Did I? I'll check in a second. No, I'm good. Cool. I have a webcam that's resistant to breaking now. Let's fix that though. Here we go. Now it won't turn off anymore on me. Good. Okay, all of these I'm gonna basis compress. I'm tempted to tell it to highly compress. But I'll just regular compress and see how far that gets me. Sure. It should get me really far because these are PNGs. Hopefully they don't needlessly have alpha channels and stuff on them. It compressed all of them down to 1 megabyte. That's pretty good. 10 megabytes on memory. That's pretty good. Draw calls, not so good because everything's its own material. But that's okay. We're looking good. It looks like the renderables are all broken up in good nodes, so I can individually select each object. This is a wonderful, wonderful free pack that I discovered here. So with these models, I'm going to build a house to put them in. That's what I'm going to do in the remaining hour and 40 minutes of the stream here. And I'm just thinking, okay, I'm going to build a house. I'm going to use these assets in it. I'm going to bake the lighting. How's the light baking going to work? Maybe I should be baking the light in Play Canvas for this one. I don't want to though. If I don't bake the lighting in, I shouldn't bake the lighting. I shan't. I think that's what this means. I'll use real-time lighting, but I'll bake it static style. Let's do some tests with that. Okay, how can we make this all static? Can we? Sure we can. First, let's disable every single light in the scene and see what that looks like. Okay, these models are still full lit. How? Because they are emissive. Okay, so I can bake, and the models will still look pretty good as long as it's an even bake. I might not want to bake though. Also, let's check our draw calls here. If you turn on the profiler and then go and click play, it shows all this stuff on the bottom. And you can check the draw calls, and we were up to a whopping unknown amount of 75 draw calls, because each one is its own object, at least one draw call. That's rough. Okay, so we're not going to be too optimized. We got lots of couches and a fireplace, so I'm just thinking I'm going to make like a one-room thing. It's going to have the pink couch. It can have a lot of these. Let's do this. Yeah, all right, we're good. The model assets, the model pack looks good. Let's do it. Let's start building. All right. We are going to fire up 3ds Max here. We're going to make sure that our units are set to meters. They were not. They were on inches. That's weird, isn't it? Meters. Okay, now we're going to make Gordon Pillman down here. And he's going to be 1.88 meters tall, which is hero height. And it'll be that big. And we'll center him here. Okay. And then we're going to have a few rooms, and most of the furniture placeholders will be about couch size, chair size, wardrobe shelf size. Okay. So let's make some little placeholders. Here's a couch. Here's a chair. Do I have any tables? Not one table? We got entertainment centers. Here's an entertainment center. Here's an entertainment center. Here is a cabinet. And another cabinet. Do I have anything else that I might want to be positioning around here? I don't think I'm going to do a bathroom. A little lamp. Got a little lamp. We've got a fireplace. So here's a little lamp. Here is a fireplace. Lots of cool little chairs here. Okay, let's make it. Oh, the beds. Am I going to have a bed? I don't think so. So I won't even worry about the bed. So we got all these objects for me to place around. Couches. Here's two dressers. The light baking. I'm going to want to get these into 3ds Max. Am I not? Am I not? I am. Their texturing would be nice to get in also. Dang. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Let's get into Blender. Here's what I'm doing. I want to bake lighting. Why? Why do I need to ask myself why? Wait a second. Wait a second. I should bake the lighting inside the editor. Yeah, and I should test the workflow real soon. Okay, so I'm gonna try a new workflow here. My workflow is I'm gonna set up the UVs in 3ds Max, export my room, but I'm gonna do the actual lighting in Play Canvas Editor where I'm building the web world and putting it together, because that is where I could calculate the lighting with the instances of the props already in there and not have to worry. So the lighting will be lower quality than what 3ds Max can do, but it still might look really good and it might match the asset quality a little bit better. Also, if I'm going to be generating lighting in there, that means that I could use textures theoretically. Let's look at these reference images here. I could use textures. Let's make this room. Like this room right here is going to be the test room, or is it going to be this room? Let's do this room. Okay. So, we're making a room. In 3ds Max, I'm exporting as GLB. All right, this is a Unix system. I can do this. I know this. -0.5. I'm going to position it right here at the origin, please. All right. And I'm going to be doing some tomfoolery here because I do not want to UV unwrap a thing. And this is how I'm going to avoid all UV unwrapping. I'm going to actually UV unwrap it all as I'm making it. So I did real world map size. I'm going to make a thing over here that is a GLTF texture. I'm going to be using GLTF materials for every single material that I make in this scene because my target format is a GLTF that I'm exporting and putting right into Play Canvas. I could target FBX. I'm going to go with GLTF just because it's popular these days. And this is going to be, I'll call this wood. And in the wood, I'm going to want a material. I know this. I have a material that I could use. Let's check material library, and we're going for hardwood floor. This one. I like this one. Okay, we got the source version. I got the 2K version. I do not have a 512 version, which is what I'm going to make right now. So I'm going to make a new folder called low, and I'm going to change this thing to be 512 or 512. Now look, I'm going to go a little bit ham sandwich here. So I am going to do a little bit of graphic editing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bake the AO layer, this, onto the diffuse layer instead of using it as an actual PBR layer. Why? PBR is beautiful. Well, the reason is I don't want to have a lot of layers on my materials that are in the world. The fewer layers, the faster it renders and loads and stuff like that. So I'm only going to have a diffuse and a normal and maybe a glossiness. I gotta have the glossiness. The glossiness will go a long way. So I'm already gonna have these 3 material layers on my wood. I don't need to have an AO and a height and all this other stuff on there. Do I even need a normal? Yeah, I need a normal. I need a normal. Okay, so I'm loading up my graphic software and I'm gonna bake onto the diffuse my AO. By putting it as a multiply, I believe. No, it's probably an overlay. Okay, so that gives it this. I don't want all the way AO, so I'll just put a little bit on there like that. It kind of darkens it up, but it darkens up in a certain way that hopefully makes it end up looking more 3D. And then glossiness, height. Height, I could also bake in a little bit, not too much, but I could bake this in. Like that. And there is my there's my thing, but then I'm also going to want to put in glossiness, right? So if I want to put in glossiness, I can put that into the alpha channel actually. I don't know if that would confuse things later though, so let's not do that. So I'm going to save this thing into my material library on Jedi Archives. There's that. And then this one, which is my glossiness. I could save my stuff as PNGs because I'm going to be using basis compression at the end. Okay, now let's grab those. I should save this pretty soon. Oh no, there's no glossiness, that's right. Let's just try throwing it in there and see what that does. Okay, now I just want to put the normal on here. Where are you at, normal? I can't resize the normal by my normal means. I gotta go to the PNG resizer to try to do it without breaking or distorting the colors. That would be bad. 512. There it is. And then I just throw that into here. I'm setting up my materials in 3ds Max, and they will carry over when I export them into the Web World's SDK in the Play Canvas editor. Okay, why is it blue? Oh, because I have it selected. Okay, now I need to go into the UV X form and make this 2.25, 0.25. Is that better? Yeah. All right, now I have a good material on my floor. Let's get some stuff going on the walls and then do a test build. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is clone this. I'll rotate it like so. Change the height. Notice how I'm changing the size of the shape here, and it's not, and the materials are not getting squashed and stretched. That's good. Okay, but now that's the wrong texture. I need to set up one more texture. We're going to try to export this with 2 textures, and the other texture is going to have to be stucco. Oh, and then I have to do the UV maps. But first, okay, we'll get a few different exports out there. The plaster. What do we have here for plaster? Tell me I already got a load for plaster. We got painted plaster. That's like brown. Do we have a white plaster? Stucco, maybe? Do we have a stucco? Yeah. We got subway ceiling plaster. I like this one. I use this one a lot. We also have subway ceiling plaster rough. Let's go with not rough. I'm going to have to do a low version of this again. That's okay. It's okay. Let's go over here. Set down this 512. Save this. We'll put it in low. Yeah. Then we also want the... Oh, no. Wait a second. I've got to do the same thing. If I'm getting serious with my optimization, I'm going to bake the AO into the diffuse. So let's do that. Here, I'll open it. I'll make it easier. Good. Give it some texture. Do we have a height that we might want to bake onto there a little bit? Gotta be careful with the height, because if you put use too much of the height baked in, it looks bad. Oh, well, this one you could hardly tell. I might leave all the bake in there. I'll put all of it? No, I'll put about half of it. Okay, so let's merge all this down, and this is our albedo for low. Now, let's resize my normal. And on this one, I don't think that I need a specular. No, I don't need a specular. It's all evenly specular. Okay. Now. Plaster. Okay, now we got some textures on here. Okay, now what is this one? Is that big, so let's make this one that big also. Okay, now I need to save this, and I'm going to process it and see how it looks in the thing with the light bake. There is a point to all this. I didn't take so long to make a cube for no reason. So this is the, what are we going to call this? Furniture house? Furnished house. Furnished house. Okay, now let's do this. We got UV1s, doesn't look every UV2s. Merge all this. So when I do the merge, I'm going to have a bunch of stuff that I want to purge, so I probably want to do that right now. It's not that good here. There's just that it will be chopped up a little bit more. I got to think a little bit differently. Okay, let's do this. Let's do easy mode. Easy mode? No, let's not. Okay, let's make a clone of this and start testing out the bake here. Oh! If this thing crashed. It didn't crash. It didn't crash. We're all good. Oh, it's just because it's a mesh instead of a poly. Be a poly. Don't be a mesh. Okay. And then I want to select everything but these. I'm eventually, when this structure gets more complex, going to be using pro boolean to merge things together. But at this point, it actually would not be too beneficial to use pro boolean to do anything. So I'm doing it this way real quick, because the actual goal is to see what I can get with my light bake with the objects that are in there. Okay, so the test is about to begin. Let me do this actually. I'll merge all these things together. I will re-smoothing group these, which is going to put them all on their own smoothing group. And then I'll call this merged. And I want to bake the lighting, but with all these things hidden. No, I don't want to bake the lighting, but I want to do the unwrap. Okay, it is unwrapped, but what I want to do is different. UV unwrap, let's look at the unwrap that's on it. It's going to be tiled, right? Now, if I click auto peel or quick peel, does it keep the proportions correctly is what I'm looking at. And yes, it does. So this is good. We're good here. This is good. All right. Let's roll with it. Yeah. That is my light map. Ah, I already screwed up. This needs to be UV channel 2. Not UV channel 1. That's more like it. Perfect. Okay, now I wonder if exporting separate UV channels is going to work on GLB. I will soon find out. That's what tests are for. Save. Okay, we're going to file export the selected as an... We'll do an FBX. And I'm going to call this furnished home.fbx. I'm going to include not the animation, but yes, the geometry, and yes, the media. Embed media. Export. Let's check the file size on that. It should be not just a few bytes. It should be a good, hefty megabyte or two if everything went well. Because if it's too small, that means that it didn't embed the materials. I don't know if that worked or not. Let's find out. Let's just drop it into here and see. I was using GLB materials instead of PBR materials, and that might have confused the FBX export. It did. It did. I could re-rig things, or I could not. Let's see how the GLB exports. Okay, let's try GLB. Export selected. We're going to do a GLB this time. And it's going to be the same name. Furnished home. It's called furnished house.max, so let's call it that. Furnished house.glb. And we'll do all this. Export. Now we'll try double clicking on it. And this one, the textures look good. But let's see how they look in here. House. I'm just wondering if the secondary UVs survived that GLB export. Okay, so far so good. All of these materials. I don't know. We'll see what I want on those. What I want to do right now, let's hide some more of this stuff. I want to hide more of this stuff. Let's hide all of this stuff. Except for the floor. And the light. don't see any shadows. Let's go in here and test this. Okay, I'm casting a shadow. The other objects are not casting shadows. These are dynamic shadows. Alright, so how could I make this couch cast a shadow? Let's see. There we go. So it was the material. Alright, so what if I go to all these materials and I make them all use lighting? Well, and it's going to work, but that's going to be really computationally intensive until I bake the lighting. So let's see how that looks. How do I do that? Well, I want to select. Can I select the renderables in the Asset Explorer to do this? No, I gotta select their instances. Okay. That could be a problem. Try doing these. Okay, so these things, we want them to cast shadows, but we want them to be static. We don't want them to be light mapped. UV1 is missing anyways. Okay, now let's look at the light, and we're going to say that the light is going to be light mapped. Does it need to be? So I'm experimenting with doing the light bake outside of 3ds Max, if I can. I usually don't do the baking in 3ds Max. Oh wait, I gotta go over here and say that this thing is static and light mapped. UV1 is missing! Oh, great Scott! Okay. That means that when I exported the GLB, it did not export the UV1s. I wanted it to, though, so I'm going to have to use the other version of it. I'm going to have to use the FBX. And maybe this will be fine. Yeah, I don't have too many materials on here. So this thing of mine, I want to delete. And this thing of mine, I want to add. But I want to give it these other materials of mine for wood and plaster. Okay. Now, over here in this thing, it's marked as static and light mapped. Yes. Yes. Yes! Now we're talking. Okay. Oops. So the bake is working. The quality of the bake is not going to be very good, but I'll be able to have tiling textures around it. Okay. This is looking good. All the furniture is too small. Let's make all the furniture bigger. Also, the setup for this I only did on these couches. Let's do the setup on all of everything. Yeah. Yes, sir. They're all static. Shadows will be cast on attached meshes. I don't think I need either of those. I think I do need that. So let's see how that looks. If I did that. Okay. So I need cast light map shadows, but I don't need the other kind. I don't think I'm going to use the other kind. I'm going to try to keep it as optimized as possible. Well, we'll keep it pretty optimized. Okay, now with this, the lighting is baked into the scene. In the editor. So we're looking pretty good. Can I increase the resolution of this? This is now what I'm wondering. Light map size. Multiplier. Bam! That probably did it. I don't know. We'll see. This guy over here is, hey, how about 4? There we go. How's that looking? Ooh. Let's see. Okay, something is still casting shadows on me. What is that? Oh, it's me. Whoa. That's my own shadow? Because it bakes after I'm in the scene and I cast a shadow? Wow. That's interesting. Okay. It's baking the light after it loads the scene, and because of that, I'm showing up in the shadow. That's okay. Let's ignore that for now. And everything else is going great. The chairs themselves look like maybe you could do better if they weren't using themselves as emission. But then they'd have to take lighting. They do take lighting. They'd have to take lighting from a light that affects dynamic. This one affects dynamic. Oh, really? Okay. So here is 14. And diffuse. Okay, now it might get a little tricky because these things don't have the alternative UV set up on them. I can't just use the other UV. Oh, it might not be good. All the furniture is too small. Let's make it all bigger. While I continue to try to figure out how to address this. I think I need to go with the full lit furniture. Man, I mean, the lighting isn't going to look impressive. I wanted the lighting to look impressive. The light is not going to look impressive unless I have a UV map on all my furniture, a UV1. I'd have to bring them into 3ds Max to get them a UV1. Okay, well, what if I wanted to do something short of going in and giving all these a UV1? Well, I could use them all fully lit, and as long as there's hardly any lighting in my thing in the first place, that would work out. I could still cast shadows. Okay, this is looking good. Let's start making the skybox here. Because I did shoot through a good amount of time doing all that planning and thinking there. We need something like this, a meadow forest. Okay, we know that. A grassy meadow forest, sure. And then over here, let's try getting some more lights in. Okay, so I need to turn off whatever I turned on here, which was turn off cache shadows too. Dang. Okay, a little bit more optimization than I can do on all these, but right away on this one I can do that and change diffuse back to being the mission because I'm going with full lit furniture after all. Why does it have an opacity? I want to remove the opacity on all of these. Whew, okay, these are materials, huh? Optimization, hopefully, by going into opacity, removing them from there, because I don't need any opacity on anything. And did that work? I believe that it did. Excellent. The other thing was on every single material. Use lighting. I don't want to use lighting. Okay. Am I happy with the scale? Not really. No, I guess it's good. Yeah. No, let's make it a little bit bigger. All this to bake the lighting. I just got to keep the objective in mind. All this to bake the lighting inside of the editor. It didn't even work there. Oh, it's because I told it not to use lighting. Yeesh. Now, all my objects are statically baked, they're statically casting shadows. I'm not very optimized, but I do have a skybox going. I could carve some windows in here, and I just need to make the lighting a lot brighter. So let's get the skybox in here, and yeah, this might work for outside. Download. And I'm processing the cube map here. And then, like, one more final step to processing the cube map before I could see it in world. Nom, nom, nom. This bear is out of coffee. Material. No, I didn't want to make a material. I wanted to make a cube map. It's going to be skybox. Hey, alright. This green HDRI is going to be weird to see on all the objects, but we're going to see how it looks anyways. See, it turned my walls green. It turned my walls green. I don't think I want to turn my walls green. So to make it not turn my walls green, I got to delete my pre-filtered data. Whoa! The specularness in on my floor is killing me now. Oh. That looks really nice though. So if look at me, I look like a robot. The specularness looks really nice. The reflections there. And I have shadows, but it's too reflective. And I'm reflecting the wrong thing. So let's see. Let's do this. One more over here. Where's the skybox generator? We're going to do an interior. And let's use the same words that I used to describe my concept art. So with the proper reflections, the floor might look good, and the walls, and the ceiling, and then I'll use this one on the outside. Yeah, okay, so how would I use this one on the outside? Ooh, yeah, I just got two materials, so I could still use this one on the outside, and on the inside use a different one. Let's see how that works out. Too many hallways, too many refrigerators, but yeah, too many hallways. I don't like the whole grass and everything outside, but I just want to get these reflections going. I guess I could start arranging my furniture, not quite yet. I need to get the materials down, and then for the last 30 minutes, I'll arrange everything, in 3ds Max and export a new version of the house, and then hopefully everything starts coming together real quick at that point. I think this might be good. Okay. It's not exactly what I wanted to do, though. Let me think this through. Let me think this through here. This, I wanted to keep the other one, and I just wanted to say, no, this is good. I just should apply the other one separately. Okay. So, if I have this in here, that brightens everything up pretty well. Now when I delete pre-filtered, then it'll make everything have sharper reflections. I believe that'll be the immediate effect that I see. And that's no good. Yeah, that's no good. So let's bring back this. Cut some windows. It's a lot brighter than I wish. Let me see. How could we affect that? Makes it too flat. Okay, there's this, and let's see how it looks with a few more lights in there. First of all, how's it look with no lights? This is purely image lighting, super flat. Still calculating light from this light, even though I have it disabled. What is that about? Oh, you know what? It's probably just left over. Probably just left over, and I have to refresh. Yeah, okay, so that is no lighting. It's not very dark. I wish it was darker. Here is lighting. Baked in. We're 8 to 2. Okay, now the hope is, this is not a lot of hope. I need to adjust this cube map. Yeah, it is too bright. The reflections are too bright here. Yeah, well, the hope is that this looks awesome, and I need to make drastic steps towards it looking awesome, because it's not looking awesome yet. Okay, now when I start putting the windows in here, it will start looking good. I'll need wooden beams, and I'm going to make this all in 3ds Max. Yeah, I'll need to define a wood texture, and I'll have to use the wood everywhere, and then stucco, wood, floor, wood beams, and that's the whole house. And I'm going to be using mostly those black couches. Let's choose some other ones that I'll be using. Oh, yeah. Is it the same chair? Oh, it's a different chair. Cool. That's a good variety of couches I can use. If I'm going with that. I'm not going to use every model in this set. This fireplace. This entertainment center. Which I unfortunately cannot make the screen larger. That screen is stuck that size. And some of these storage things. Anything else? I don't think so. I was afraid that that thing would be huge. I'm just thinking here. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. I'll just roll that. Yeah. And then next we got this thing. I'll break it out. I'll adjust its scale. Yeah. I'm preparing all the different parts of this thing that I'm going to use. I believe that's everything. Yes, sir. Okay, so let's hide all this other stuff. I'll actually just delete it all. Now we're starting to take shape. Oh, I forgot to calculate the lighting. And I'll be able to take advantage of the light bake some in cool ways, like putting beams that cast shadows that you can see from all the way across the room. And I need to start doing that right now. Otherwise, this 2-day project might turn into a 2-session project, might turn into a 3-session project. But let's get it pretty far here. We're going to have more lights, we're going to have shadows. Let me just get another light over here to show what it will look like. And I believe I can have as many lights as I want. Unless my lights impact dynamic, which they do. So the lights that impact dynamic, I can't have as many as I want. But the ones that do not impact dynamic, I can basically have as many as I want because they don't impact runtime performance. I do wish that I was casting a shadow. But I understand that I'm not. But I could be. No, I couldn't be, because it's baked. Okay, we're good. One, yeah. Cast shadows baked. No. Cast shadows baked and they're there. Okay, so the more cool lights that I add in, the better advantage I'm taking of the thing. We're going to add some windows in, and they're going to have that grassy skybox on the outside. The layout of this room I could start thinking of now. Okay, we're going to have a couch, a big window. I want a corner that's a big window, right? This chair can't be right there. I need to space this out some. Okay, let's do this. Grab these things and move them over like so. And then that'll be a window there. I saved it like this? Oh, I did save it like this. Okay, that's right. That's right. I saved it like this because I kept it like this. Okay, cool. And this is a rectangle, and I'm talking about the back left corner here. So, in the back left corner of this rectangle, we'll have some windows. Cool. I need to set up my wood texture. I do. And I'm going to go with a brown wood, I think. Here, how about that? Mahogany. No normal. That's good. It does have quite the glossiness to it. No AO. That's good. Needlessly, I'll set that up. Let's call this material GLT or wood trim. Incorrectly put the glossiness on the specular. I don't know why I'm doing that. Now we got the wood stuff here. I'm gonna have glass. So I'll just make a quick glass texture. Because that is what I want to put through my wall. Okay, over here. No, the glass isn't what I want to put through it. Actually. But I do want to see what it looks like. Okay, that is what I will be calling glass. Now I'm going to replace that glass with the glass texture that I make inside of plate canvas, so it doesn't matter too much. But I don't actually want that to be glass. I want this one to be the wood trim. Now let's get rolling here. The wood trim, we're going to have some windows. My walls are way too thick. It's okay. Right over here, I'll have a bigger window. Okay, now we got a couple windows there. We got a fireplace here. Do I want any protrusion here for the fireplace of the wall? No, I think we're good. So we got the couch, the light, the other couch, and then we got another wall over here of some sort. Yeah. And maybe another window. Cool. Yeah. Okay, so this will actually go over here. Okay, and now we want some beams. There, there's not too much room there. But there should be, so let's give it a little bit more room here. Enough room to put another one of these. Okay. want kind of like wood trim here. And here. And here. Maybe not there. But yes, here. Also over here. Get a window over here. And what am I going to even have on this side? Let's see. I don't have any windows on this side now, do I? I could have a bunch of posters. That might not be the coolest thing. I'm getting close to the limit here, the time limit for today. So I got to make a decision quick. I could use some more stuff like counters and tables. Let's do some of that. Could I? I don't really need that stuff. An empty space is actually pretty good. Let's get, I know what I can do. Let's get, the trim in there on the bottom. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like so. Okay, and with that, let's carve everything out and see how it goes. Do I need to add a big old window on the other side? I should. Am I really going to have a big wall with no windows? I think so. Actually, no. Let's get some more windows in here. No skylight, but more windows. Okay, and then I'll do the Boolean, and we'll start having this thing come together. Hopefully the lighting approach pays off and it looks good. Okay, now why do we want to boolean this? I want to boolean it so there is no wasted texture space. Okay, that's a good reason. So we're going to boolean this so it has no wasted texture space, and that's a good thing. Yeah, all right. Do I want to make it more interesting? I want to make the geometry more interesting. That was like my last chance to make it any more interesting than just the square room with that in it. I'm just gonna go with the square room, man. This might not end up looking very impressive, but it's an approach that can allow for some good things with prop instancing and batch groups and batch rendering. So in other words, I could make a house using an approach similar to this, maybe not so many normal maps and stuff, and I could populate it with a lot of props. I would want to process the props a little bit to be on one texture sheet, because these are each on their own texture sheet. So I would either want to process these or make up my own batch of like hyper optimized things. And then you could do a whole house and it's all batch rendered. It's wonderful. Okay, but we're not going to do that right now. We'll do part of that. And the baking is going to look not as good as the previous bakings, because this bake is going to happen in Play Canvas, the editor, where I'm putting together the web world. It has its pros and cons. So let's do it. Don't talk about it. Do it. Do it. And what are we going to do here? Then we're going to start with unions. Yeah, so let's do the Boolean. Let's save the backup copy in case the Boolean goes south. I'm going to be using Pro Boolean and 3ds Max here. The order in which you Pro Boolean is important. So I'll merge all these things. I got UVs set up on all of my shapes. I'm in good shape with my UVs. We're going to do compound, Pro Boolean, and we're going to start picking our unions. And we're going to union a bunch of stuff together. We're going to union these things together, and these things too. Good. We're going to union the floor in. I already did. We're going to union the ceiling in. Oh, and this wall. Okay, so far so good. Now I want to union the outer frames of the windows in, not the inner frames yet, because those I have to subtract. Okay, I can also union in all these strips. Although it's probably not very, well, yeah. It's probably not too important to union in these strips. I would probably be better off just resizing those shapes instead to avoid stuff like that. But it's okay. I'll just roll with it. See how it turns out. Now it's time to subtract that. Okay, looking good. Now, one final step before I can unwrap and bake this is to cut all the fat out. And to do that, I'm going to make a huge shape. The biggest wall known to man. I'm going to throw my texture on it. And I'm going to set my real world map in here. And then I'm going to UV it. UV X4 it to be a little bit smaller. Okay, now this is my cutting tool. I want to cut everything. I want to trim it all. I want to trim it all. Open it right there. Okay. Yeah. So I select this thing and I say I want to subtract and I want to copy this thing. And bam! Yeah. Now we're well on our way. And over here, I want this to be about yay big. Subtract. And over here. That looks good. Okay, we gotta trim up the top. If I would have thought ahead, I could have made trimming the top and bottom a little bit easier. But yay, I did not think ahead sufficiently. So I'll be trimming the bottom and top like so. Okay, now I got these weird things because I should have been making the shapes larger than they needed to be. And if I would have made them larger than they needed to be, the outside of my cut here would be a perfect box. And I would like that. I don't like what I have right now. And I'm just thinking what the best way is to deal with this because I'm going to be calculating light on the outside of this box. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Let's save this. Save a backup copy. I'm going to process this and see how the light bake turns out. I only got like 10 minutes here, so hopefully I get one more version baked out and onto the parcel for a test today, and then we can pick it up next time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all the exterior surfaces, which is not too good because of these weird little pockets I have here. Removing the shell. Okay, let's remove the shell. I wish I had a good shell, and the shells can be important for casting lights that come through the windows. So you don't want to have to remove your shell if you can avoid it. Alas, I have to remove my shell. Okay, I think we're good. Now I have only interior facing surfaces, and I'm ready to export this thing. I got my fireplace, cool, yeah. And then I'll throw the glass in. Okay, now before I export, let's save this thing, and I'm going to go and apply I'll just call it merged, and then I'll apply a UVW unwrap, and we're going to do unfold auto peel, quick peel. Very, very good. There's our light map. It could be better. You see all these weird triangles? That's because I subtracted the beams when I really didn't need to. It would have been better if I didn't, but I did. So there you are. Now let's bake this out and see how it looks. No, I'm not going to bake it out. Oh yeah, I'm going to just save it out. File, export, selected. I'm going to export it as an FBX because GLBs do not support UV, the alternate UVs. So let's export this as an FBX. Furnished home. I'm calling it furnished home even though it's like an unfurnished home. Okay. Now I will upload the GLB to the Play Canvas editor here to get it into my web world. It's going to, Play Canvas is going to automatically try to update the GLB that I already have in here. Now my GLB that I'm uploading is drastically different. So you see it screwed up some. It screwed up some, so it's okay. It screwed up a lot. That's okay. I'll just delete this one and I'll put mine in there, the new one. In fact, I should delete the whole FBX. Yeah. Just to make sure it doesn't get confused when I say upload the new one. And I know I'm going to have to manually upload a couple textures to go along with it. And what textures are those? Because there was a weird situation here where I could export with the GLB, it'll get the materials because I use GLB materials, but if I export as an FBX, it gets the UV ones, which I couldn't get with GLBs, but it doesn't get the materials. So I got a bit of an extra step here. This is plaster. Trying to wrap it up. This is unfortunate complication at the end. What is this called? Subway plaster ceiling. All right, subway plaster ceiling. Low. There you go. No, I already have the plaster ceiling. The other one that I'm looking for is mahogany. August wood mahogany. Why can't I find this material? Where is it? Oh, I just looked at the wrong one. It's called smooth mahogany wood. Can things work out for me at the end here? Thank you. It's called wood trim. Okay. It looks pretty slick with no textures, but I'm going to give it textures. And get all dressed up for nothing. Why is it showing up as black and white? I have no idea. Let's just push forward. Oh, I know. Yeesh. Yeesh. Okay, so wood trim. On this thing, I forgot to tell it that this goes to channel 2. Okay, that's more like it. Now when I export, things will be much nicer. This is the one. I got a good feeling about this one. I got to do more head acting. The bear nodding his head. That works out well. Okay, template is in. Now, the materials. Wood trim. For some reason, my wood trim shows up black. But it's brown. I wonder if it's because I basis compressed it, it turned out black. I don't know, whatever. Wood, okay. Wood. Here. And then plaster here. Good, good. And this thing is static and light mapped. Yeah. And 4, so it's that big. Actually, I went bigger than that. No, that's good. How's that look? Not good. Because this needs receive shadows. Yeah. And does this thing cast shadows? Yeah, it does cast shadows. Okay, let's get some glass in, get some lights, some more lights, and then I'll be GGing it for today. I'm going to go a little bit over time here. I think I'm already 4 minutes over time. But this should be pretty good, and it should run really well, and I should be able to make a bunch more rooms without greatly impacting the performance too much. Anyways, let's get the glass in here and a few more chairs and stuff. I don't think that that forest skybox out there makes sense anymore. I'll probably change that to something else eventually in the next session. Okay, all that stuff I added to that shader was probably not a good idea. Probably going to make it lag, but that's okay. I'm not doing all the optimization. I'm not even supposed to be here today at this point. I'm over the 2-hour stream. But I want to get this to a better milestone here. I wish I had a different skybox out there. I will, and I'll have to make sure that it has a black and white color scheme to it also, so the reflections on things look better than they do here. But let's tinker around with this some more and delete the pre-filtered cube map stuff there. We're going to take it off of there. Okay. And then I'm going to make a cube. No, I think a sphere. This sphere is going to use a material. Damn. Okay, it wants to make it upside down, and it doesn't want me to be able to change it, huh? It's crazy how 3D it looks. It shouldn't, but it does. Okay, oh man, I'm hitting the road bump here. Okay, let me think of another thing here. How can I get this kidnap onto there? I just make a thing that has it, right? This is the thing that has it. I made this an actual box. Hey. I'm trying to find a new method for putting a new method to me for putting a skybox out there. It's not going so smoothly for me, so this might be something I figure out off stream, and then I pull it out of the oven at the start of next show. Like, hey, here's how the two different reflection map things look combined. All right, so let's not worry about the weird incorrect stuff outside of the windows. Let me just continue adding windows to the rest of this thing. A light real quick, and then we gotta call it for today because I am over. Okay, not static. It could be static, couldn't it? It doesn't bake light map, but it also doesn't affect light map. It does affect dynamic. Yeah. Maybe it even casts shadows. No, it doesn't cast shadows. That'd be insane. Okay. Doing that thing where I'm in the reflection. That is a bug. I'm sure of it. It's gotta be a bug. Okay, where's the spawn point at? I don't know. It's one of the few things that I would have rescued from the template. Oh, I didn't rescue it from the template yet. So I'm probably spawning at the origin. I want to spawn at the spawn point. How's that? Okay. I'm gonna throw a couple more chairs around here real quick, and then that'll be the end of the progress for today. Why can't I see through them? Oh, because there's nothing out there. Of course there's nothing out there. Because I hit it. Okay, that's what's going on. There we go. Alright. I'll refresh this and I think that I'll have a pretty decent lighting situation. I got a light in here that only impacts the avatars, so when I'm standing in the middle I'm not completely dark. Then I could also stand next to these things. I probably want another direct light, but I have too many lights. I need to turn off a bunch of these lights. Are they casting shadows? No, they shouldn't be. They're not. Are they not? Yeah, they cast light map shadows, not real-time shadows. Okay. If I throw a rug in here, I really want a rug. Can I get a rug, please? Excuse me. I was not talking to you, can on the wall. Hotel carpet varied. Do I already have this one downloaded? No. I'm adding yet another texture to this project. Just for my rug. Just for my rug. I really want a rug though. Okay, there's that. Now I need the normal. There's my normal at. But no, I have the normal. I want the diffuse with the AO baked in. That's what I want. Okay, there's my rug. Now I just need to upload it. And to use it, I just need to make it plain. So the shadows on this thing, yeah, let's see here. These? No. Okay. And that's it for today. We have this room made from start to finish, made to house furniture. The rug was not a good approach. The structure was a good approach, and I could make a much larger structure. I would have to optimize or do some tests with the lighting, because how the lights light the person when they get near them, that's not optimized as it could be. They're static lights, but they affect the dynamic, and it's just not as optimized as it could be. So if the lights that I turned it off so the light doesn't impact dynamic, those, I should do that right now, actually. They're not going to light the windows either, but that's I can't. Okay, yeah. The windows should also be a part of the model, so that they have the UV mapping on them to use light maps that are generated inside of the editor. But hey, this is coming together pretty well. It'll look a lot better if I throw bloom on it, but I need to get it finished, more finished and on a parcel before I can take the screenshot with bloom and the post-processing and stuff on it. But it's looking good. It's just about done, and it's kind of like a starter room, and there could be a whole bunch of other rooms very much like this if we wanted. So there we have it. The new or not a new technique, but a technique I usually don't use here on the build streams for Web Worlds, and that is setting up the UVs in the 3D software like Blender or 3ds Max, setting up the UV channel 1, which is where lighting gets baked to. Not baking the lighting like I have in the past, bringing it into the editor and then baking the lighting. The reason why was so that the lighting that I baked automatically took the positions of the prop instances into account, and I could move stuff around in the editor, like the couch, and all I had to do was click update lighting, and bam, I didn't have to go back to 3ds Max and rebake it and all that. That's the difference, and it's a huge difference when you're working on something larger that you don't want to be going back and forth in there. You want to get the assets optimized into the level editor, like I was using Play Canvas here to position stuff and do the lighting. And you want to be able to do the lighting in the level editor, just like you're making a level for a game. It's pretty nice that you have that option. It does take a little bit more finesse to make things look the way that you want in the end. You don't have that nice radiance from the Arnold renderer like when I was doing the baked stuff from 3ds Max, but there's pros and cons to both approaches. Well, I'm in the middle of this one. When this one gets onto the parcel, it'll look good with the post-processing, because post-processing actually looks bad when you put it on the pre-rendered stuff, like the stuff that I bake out of 3ds Max. But the stuff that is that doesn't have that high quality kind of radiance already happening on it, post-processing looks great on it. You throw AO, ambient occlusion, onto this, and it will look wonderful, because the fully lit couches will look like they're casting shadows onto themselves and to the geometry around them, which is great. They are casting shadows onto the actual world geometry, like the floor and the ceiling, but they're like right now already, but they're not casting shadows onto themselves, and that's what AO will give the illusion of it doing. So what AO is when there's two surfaces close to each other, it darkens them up, which is kind of like what you see in real life. But when you exaggerate AO, it's kind of like fake lighting that you could do all in post-processing. So stuff like this wall, every little corner where the wall turns and goes around where the fireplace is will really pop. It'll look good. the beams will look wonderful where they meet into the wall. You'll see this nice little darkened area around them. So yeah, AO alone will be great. And you throw AO at this kind of non-pre-baked kind of thing. It is still pre-baked because it bakes it once it loads it in. It just doesn't do real-time lighting. But you throw AO, you combine it with kind of flat-looking geometry like this, and maybe you throw some other post-processing at it like Bloom, and you got yourself something that looks pretty good, and it runs pretty well. It's not miraculously looking, it's not miraculously running. It's somewhere in between, but the ease of being able to create a whole bunch of different areas this way is a lot easier than trying to do a whole bunch of different areas that are baked, like fully baked from 3ds Max. Okay, that's the conclusion for today. I'm sorry if I missed a lot of the chat messages today. I was kind of engulfed in what I was doing. I'll catch up to those off stream and respond to them next time. I'll be back next week right here, Friday, same time, doing another 2-hour stream. I'm half an hour over. I hope I'm not cutting in anybody's time. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out. I did a peace sign, but my bear doesn't do hand tracking. Nope. Okay, bye-bye.